Hi, I'm Valerie Evans, and I'm here to provide a really quick orientation to SAU's policies and procedures using Blackboard for teaching hybrid and online classes. Keep in mind you can always use Blackboard for your face-to-face classes. I do that myself. So let's get started and take a look at the Blackboard institution page. This is what you see when you actually log into Blackboard. You'll see over here in this area you have your courses listed. This little gear right here allows you to control which courses that you see and how you see them. I have another video that outlines how to actually control that, so I'm not going to get into that here. Notice also that here in the center in My Organizations, there is a faculty help desk. There are loads of resources for you in there. Some of them are resources you can use to copy and paste into your own course. Some are trainings or ideas for you. So please feel free to check that out once you finish with this video. For right now, let's go into one of my Blackboard courses, and I'm going to use that as a foundation to discuss some of the policies. Keep in mind, this is not a technical training. This is just an orientation on the policies and procedures that are currently in place. Blackboard's YouTube channel has a ton of tutorials on how to do everything from set up a test to manage your gradebook, so please feel free to check those things out. So you'll see here I'm in my business communications home page. One thing that you may have noticed as I entered the page is the menu that really is the focus of this orientation has collapsed off to the side, and it does that because of the screen resolution that I have set right now. So keep in mind, if you are doing a demonstration for a face-to-face class and your menu collapses, it's probably because of the projector that's connected to the computer. So what you'll need to do is hover your mouse over here toward the edge like I'm doing. Once this arrow pops up, you can click it and it brings our menu back. So we're going to start with the very first item here, Start Here. The Start Here area is designed for you to provide your students information of a very general nature, policies and procedures about your course. So basically anything that you would tell them on the first day of class is what you would put here in the Start Here area. You'll notice that I have a brief introduction to me. For a face-to-face, the picture isn't terribly important, but for hybrid and online classes, having a picture really is important so that the students can feel more connected to you, which is always a struggle with fully online courses. So the more videos and pictures of yourself you can include in those online courses, the better. Underneath here, I've recorded a brief video on the different areas within Blackboard for the students. This and other videos are in that faculty help desk I mentioned earlier, so feel free to put them into your own courses. You don't have to recreate the wheel. But again, if it's an online course, the more time they have the opportunity to hear and see you, the better. So feel free to record your own if you like. But again, anything that I would tell my students on the first day of class, dress codes, apps that they might need to use or find useful in managing their course, faculty office hours, lots of resources are here. Again, anything that you would tell them the first day of class, basic policies about late work, about attendance, anything like that. But we save the syllabus. Let me try and get my menu out here. We save the syllabus information for this course information area. Course information is where you're going to include a syllabus in brief. You'll notice that it's not the full syllabus. It's just the most basic stuff that students really are likely to check in about, to inquire about. How is their grade calculated? What does this course cover? Those things are here in the syllabus in brief area. Below the syllabus in brief, we include a full PDF of the entire syllabus for download so that they can download it for their records. Now the reason that we do both of these is because most of the time students are actually checking into Blackboard on their smartphones, and you don't want to force students to download a PDF or a Word document every time that they need to check on something like, how is my grade calculated? What's the grading scale in this particular course? So while we do need to provide this full syllabus, we also recommend that you create a brief syllabus that will display on their smartphones. It is very mobile friendly, in an easy way for them. Using this build content and the syllabus area right here, we'll walk you through actually creating this syllabus in brief for you. Again, this isn't a technical, this is just a policy orientation. So your syllabus, your basic textbook information, that all goes in course information. Where you and your students are going to be spending most of your time, though, is in the course content area. Course content is where all assignments and all supporting materials for your assignments should be located. Now, it's important that we do stick to this structure because it keeps students from getting confused, getting lost. We don't want them to go to course information in one professor's course and then course content in another professor's course. Everything needs to be basically structured the same so that students know where they're going and what they're doing. And keep that in mind as you're building out your course, that we want to make it as easy for students to understand and find their work as possible. So you'll notice that I have created content folders for my week by week. I not only have each week labeled as week 1, 2, and 3, but I also include the dates. Again, this is to help students understand and find what it is that they need. You do have athletes that know that they're going to be missing classes in the future. They might want to take a look at what's going to be covered in a week that they know that they're going to be missing or going to be at a tournament. So having the dates in these folders is really, really helpful for the students. So I highly recommend that you include dates as much as possible. I'm just going to jump inside one of these folders and give you an idea of how things are set up inside. Now again, all of this is completely up to you. Be very flexible, be very creative. I'm just showing you how I've got things set up to give you some suggestions on how you might want to structure yours. So inside the week 2 folder from January 13 through 17, they've got an introduction letter that is due. This is actually an assignment. This little icon's an assignment. All the details, all the information. There's an attachment here to give them more information on writing styles. Everything that's expected of them is here in this assignment. I would recommend that you do an orientation session for your students on day 1. Either record one for an online course or give a live demo of this on somewhere early on in the class. What I have found with my students is they don't realize you actually have to click this link to open the assignment. You don't have the ability to browse and attach a file and then submit it, which is down here behind my picture, unless you actually click to open the link. It looks like everything is here and they see this instruction, save the assignment and click browse my computer to attach, and they don't see any buttons to submit or attach because many of them don't realize that this is actually a link that they need to click and open up. Same thing with tests and other resources. They're actually links that the student has to click. Many of them aren't aware of that. So I've got that in here. I've got a couple of videos on how to create a resume, then their resume assignment, another assignment on creating a LinkedIn profile. So whatever resources that you want to provide to the students to help them be successful in the assignments that you're assigning them, whether it's PowerPoint files, direct links to their textbook, handouts, videos that you created or found online, you can put all of that stuff in these folders to give them as many resources as possible. Just make sure things are labeled well and organized well. Okay, I'm going to pop back out to my course home. The last thing that I want to mention in this orientation is how you communicate with your students. It is campus policy that we only communicate with our students using SANOG email. I know that many students prefer to use a Yahoo or a Gmail account, but because of privacy requirements and data security requirements, it is the campus policy that we only communicate through official SANOG emails. So try to be mindful of that when students are asking you questions, especially if they're of a sensitive nature, like what is my grade in this course, or why did I get this particular grade, that you're only using the SANOG email to respond to those types of questions. If the student says that they have an issue or a problem with their campus email, encourage them to seek out assistance with IT. You might actually also send an email to IT on the student's behalf to help them out, but encourage students to handle those kinds of issues on their own. But be of assistance anytime that you feel that you can be helpful to them. So I hope this orientation was helpful to you. Keep in mind, you always have Blackboard support email. You can send an email question through that. You can also just email me directly. We've got a bunch of resources and tutorials and videos in that faculty help desk. I encourage you to seek out those and check that out. And I look forward to seeing you in Blackboard.